The internet is growing faster than ever, and the backbone of all this connectivity is IP addresses. But here's the question on everyone's mind. Will IPv6 be fully adopted by 2025? In this video, we'll break down the history of IP addresses, the rise of IPv6, and what the future holds for internet connectivity. Let's dive in. Part 1. What is IPv6? Before we can talk about whether IPv6 will be fully adopted by 2025, let's break down what it is and why we need it. Every device on the internet needs an IP address to communicate, and the version we've been using for decades is IPv4. However, IPv4 only supports around 4.3 billion unique addresses, and guess what? We're running out of them. IPv6 is the solution, offering a nearly infinite number of IP addresses, 340 undecillion to be exact. It was introduced back in 1998 to solve the problem of IP address exhaustion, but the transition has been slower than expected. Part 2. Why hasn't IPv6 been fully adopted yet? If IPv6 is so critical, why hasn't it fully replaced IPv4 yet? There are a few reasons. Legacy systems. Many older devices and networks were built for IPv4, and transitioning to IPv6 requires updating hardware, software, and network configurations. This can be costly and time-consuming for companies. Dual stack approach. Right now, many networks are using both IPv4 and IP6 in what's called a dual stack. This allows them to operate with both versions, but it slows down the full transition to IPv6. Lack of urgency. Even though IPv4 addresses are running out, network address translation has allowed people to stretch the remaining IPv4 addresses, delaying the need for immediate IPv6 adoption. Part 3. The push for IPv6 in 2025. So will IPv6 finally take over by 2025? There are a few key factors that point to yes. Global demand. With the explosion of connected devices, smartphones, IoT gadgets, wearables, smart homes, we need more IP addresses than ever. IPv6 is the only solution to handle this growth. Government policies. Governments around the world are pushing for IPv6 adoption. For example, China has set aggressive IPv6 targets to become fully IPv6 operational by 2025. Tech giants leading the way. Companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft are heavily invested in IPv6, already operating large parts of their infrastructure using IPv6. As these industry leaders adopt it, it encourages smaller players to follow suit. Part 4. Will IPv6 be fully used by 2025? So what's the verdict? By 2025, it's highly likely that IPv6 will see widespread use, but it may not fully replace IPv4 just yet. Dual-stack networks will still exist, but the scale will tip in favor of IPv6 as more and more devices require it. The key drivers will be IoT growth, government mandates, and the continuing exhaustion of IPv4 addresses. However, IPv4 won't disappear overnight. It will take many more years before it's fully phased out, but IPv6 will dominate the new internet landscape. Part 5. How you can prepare for IPv6 in 2025. As 2025 approaches, here's how you can prepare for the IPv6 revolution. Upgrade your hardware. Make sure your routers, servers, and network infrastructure are IPv6 ready. Check with ISPs. Ask your internet service provider if they support IPv6 and how you can make the switch. Learn about IPv6 security. IPv6 introduces some new challenges, so stay informed on how to secure your IPv6 networks. IPv6 is the future of the internet, and while 2025 might not see a complete switchover, it will be a major turning point. Whether you're a business owner, IT professional, or tech enthusiast, it's time to get ready for the next era of connectivity. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tech insights. Thanks for watching.